Well, Council, a number of questions that you asked even before he joined us, and it's provided some answers about the timing and so on, the fact that they are doing silent investigation, you can't get to hear what they are doing and what the way forward is. Mary Ada has had to leave us, but then that recommendation about traveling and so on to get to Ken Ofori-Atta instead of waiting for him to come, he's answered that as well. But before I come to you, let me bring in lawyer Edudzi Tamakloe on this particular issue, especially because of the position and verdict that the special prosecutor has taken. This is a wanted man. He is a fugitive of justice. And Sami Darko has explained why they come to this conclusion. Counsel.
You see, my point really is, what exactly is the issue? Is it the issue that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is under an investigation? Is that a problem? Or the declaration that he's a fugitive or wanted? Which one is the problem?
Like the declaration.
I mean, like, seriously? What exactly? I mean, whilst you were interviewing my learned friend Sami, I'm here asking, what exactly is the problem? Yes. That Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is above being declared wanted? Or Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is above being investigated? What is it? Look, I am telling you, a former president of the Republic, in the person of John Dramani Mahama, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo specifically wrote to the then special prosecutor Martin Amidu to investigate him. Who is Ken Ofori-Atta? Please, who is he? In the overall scheme of affairs, if a former president of the Republic can be investigated on the basis of a petition by Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself, I never saw this. I never saw President Kufuor ask Jerry Rawlings to be investigated. I never saw it. I never saw former President Mills, may he so rest in peace, ask that President Kufuor be investigated for whatever. I saw Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo ask his head of communication, Eugene Ahi, to write directly to the special prosecutor there to investigate Mahama and his family. So who the hell is Ken Ofori-Atta in the case? No, please. You see, this morning I've been asking myself, what exactly are the issues? Hold on. Mr. Kisie Jabe has not said Ken Ofori-Atta is guilty. Yeah. I've not heard that. In fact, he had indicated correspondences between him and his lawyers. The only point of disagreement is whether or not he should recover fully relative to whatever medical treatment he's going through abroad before he can honor the invitation of the special prosecutor without more. For me, that is the only point of disagreement. I am telling you that the special prosecutor went to John Mahama and took statement from him. It happened in this Ghana. Nobody raised any issue. So what exactly are the conversation about? What exactly are the issues? I want to know. Please keep me up to speed. Because I listened to the special prosecutor. He never said Ken is guilty. He said, I want to investigate. If their basis prosecute, I'll proceed from there. If they are not, I'll drop the charges. Why? Were we not in this country that the special prosecutor took a Pontius Pilate approach in the Cecilia Dapa matter and said they should go back to the Yoko? So it has not always been the case that the investigations conducted by the special prosecutor have resulted in a prosecution. So what exactly is the complaint? I want to know this morning. And so whilst you were interviewing my friend Sami Darko, and he started answering the question, I said, look, so what is the point? If a whole former president could be investigated by a special prosecutor appointed by President Akufo-Addo, how come a former finance minister not be? I mean, where from this? We have had a former finance minister in this republic go to prison. We have had a former deputy finance minister go to prison. We have had a former deputy finance minister prosecuted. I was counsel for the respected, the Honorable Atto-Forson, doctor. Do you know what we went through? Look, Atto-Forson criminal investigation and subsequent was instigated by Ken Ofori-Atta.
Was instigated by
him. Please, look, you see.
It's on the tape.
Look, let people not take our seeming silence to mean that we don't know what happened. I was involved. With my senior, we took Atto-Forson to Yoko. In fact, the first day we got to Yoko, by the time we met the deputy director of Yoko, Nanentwi, it was obvious that it was, excuse my language, a foolish case. Yes. Look, Nanentwi, after he listened to Atto-Forson, said, look, go home with the statement. You go and write it and bring it back. He said, go home, take the police statement form, go home, write it and bring it back. I return it. From November 2017, listen carefully.
Yeah.
November 2017, we never heard anything from the police or Yoko. The current executive director of Yoko, Mr. Bashiru, they saw the things that happened. Look, on the 17th of November 2021, the budget was read with e-levy in it. The then ranking finance, the Honorable Atto-Forson, raised issues about the fact that their side was not going to allow for the imposition of e-levy. That was 17th, 19th December when the budget was read. On the 25th of November 2021, I was there when now Speaker sent a letter that Yoko is looking for Atto-Forson. Immediately, 5 days after the budget, either 5 or 6 days after the budget was read, and Atto-Forson had raised issues about the e-levy. Immediately, they invited him. Look, you see, some of that, look, when I took the Honorable, in fact, so Speaker asked us to come to his conference room. I went there with the Honorable Atto-Forson. An investigation that was done for 4 years basically gathered dust from nowhere. They said we should come. When we went there, the investigators came, myself and him. When we went through everything, the investigators simply just said, okay, we'll call you back. Immediately they called me, that they have just been called by the Attorney General's office, that they should take his charge statement because December 22nd, they want to take him to court. Do you know what people have survived in this country? What the hell are we talking about? Look, people have gone through hell under Akufo-Addo and his family members. The manner in which they weaponize investigation and criminal prosecution, never again should we. In fact, they should be lucky that they have a forward-looking president like John Mahama as the president of this republic.
They should be lucky.
Yes. That is a man who appreciates the requirement of due process. If you have committed an offense, so be it. But to use the institutions of state to intimidate his political opponent, John Mahama, with his experience with governors, had gone beyond that. They should be lucky that you have just been invited. Look, and this morning I'm hearing. So the special prosecutor is supposed to know that on January 2nd, Ken Ofori-Atta is traveling. So he can stop him at the airport. How is he supposed to do that? Clairvoyance? How is he supposed to do that? But I'm saying that every citizen of this country has the benefit of due process requirement. That extends to Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta and any other person. So we wake up and the impression is being created that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is a special breed. So he should be treated differently. Look, me, one morning I woke up, I had a call from the then former AG, Marietta. Edudzi, where are you? I said, I'm preparing to work. Rush to Dr. Ayene's house. when I got to the house, armed police officers surrounded his house. Why? He wrote the legal opinion in the marriage transaction. What the hell? So if you wrote an opinion and you want him, just a phone call, courtesy. Mameti Wado Dankwa, she was then the CID boss with Regina Tengi or something. The manner in which was like a Gestapo.
Well, he just took us through that experience.
Dr. Kwabna, hold on. Dr. Kwabna Donko.
Yeah.
My own sector minister, John Jinapo, with a 6-year-old child at home, traumatized. Do you have an idea what we've gone through? Why? Jinapo was in this country. If you are investigating me in America or whatever, all you do is a simple courtesy. Deputy Minister, we are investigating this matter. We need you to assist us, either with a statement or something. The Honorable Jinapo is law-abiding. He would have done that. But they decided to come to his house with armed police officers. I see most of the police officers every day. I see
those who came to the house?
Wow.
I see them every day. They say, oh, Chief, we were just doing our work. I said, no problem. You just have to. Look, to the point that the Honorable Dr. Ine, his phone, MacBook, everything was taken. And taken to Crow. So Crow took it to London.
The Cole and
Took his
Associates?
password. Yes. After God knows what investigation, they found nothing. So they called me that I should come back for the phone. My own client, in fact, was equally to the point that they even went to the mother's house, went through ceilings. What were they doing?
Which client are you talking about? In a private case?
To the point, on this same investigation, when the MPP came to power, do you know why? They saw the name of Mahama in the company document and felt that it was John Mahama's sister. What they didn't know was that my client's mother also bears the same name. So when we go to the CID, and I met the investigators, that Chief, what's the issue? They said, we have already gone and done recce at the residence of Madam Mahama. So I asked them, which Hawa? Then they said, oh, she resides around, they gave the place. I said, no. The persons whose names appear here, it's not that person. This is a retired nurse. At that time, even hot water had poured on this retired nurse.
Okay.
So we went to the woman's house. What saved the situation was that she had the old passports. That's what saved the situation. And they saw it. I took her there and offered a statement voluntarily. What has happened to Ken? What has happened to Ken? Has anybody touched him? Has anybody done anything to him? No. So what exactly is intimating there? And I heard Afenyomake, what is he talking about? What is Afenyomake saying? Oh, I mean, is it the case that we have
he is down-spirited?
Listen.
He is down-spirited, traumatized.
Down-spirited how? You are in America.
What had happened?
Listen, you are in America. An event happened in Accra, and you are down what? So he's strong enough to even communicate to Afenyomake. Seriously? I say Ken Ofori-Atta instigated the prosecution and investigation of Atofo-Sin.
And it's on the Jakwa tapes.
Go and read the Jakwa tape. And what they had planned to do to Atofo-Sin. Look, do you know what we've survived under Akufo-Addo?
I feel your pain. Yeah,
and you see, I kept saying, and those days, whenever we went to court, I kept telling the prosecutor that, look, you see, be careful what you are doing. I know Atofo-Sin as my client and as a senior brother. What he does and what he means for this country, he means well. But you have a situation where a government conspired that at all costs they were going to convict him to prove a point. To the extent, look at the extraordinary strength or extent that the then Attorney General Godfrey Adame could go just to get conviction. We are talking about somebody being sick. My own client, under Akufo-Addo, who had gone through dialysis for 19 years, was put in prison under Akufo-Addo's watch. What are we talking about? Look, in the Atoforsen trial, there was another person, Dr. Sylvester Nimana. Do you know what he went through? Dr. Sylvester Nimana, what he went through. Look, the man comes to court and he can barely see what was going on in the proceedings. Even that one was tolerated under Akufo-Addo, human rights lawyer. And Afenyo Makin is saying what? I mean, he should thank his God. I kid you not, that we have a president called John Dramani Mahama, who has an appreciation of humanity, not the one that we had previously. Look, Akufo-Addo had no, look, I won't say, I'll leave it there. Okay. But people went through hell under Mr. Akufo-Addo. What has started? We are just starting a drumming festival, and you're already complaining.
I see.
Nothing had happened. It is at the barest minimum. Just come, offer your statement. The matters will be investigated. And this special prosecutor has a history of letting Cecilia Adapa say, go to Yoko. That's his history. Those that he found that he could, who exonerated Akufo-Addo's appointee, what's the name? Edudzi. Who did?
OIC.
Who said the investigation on whether MPs were giving money when the 94 MP said Ken must go? Who exonerated the process? Is it not the same Kisi Ejabe?
Well, okay, that one will be an exoneration.
No, you for whatever is worth, he failed, so the matter died. I don't know why. He was the same person. So what exactly are the issues? Has anybody touched the person of Ken Ofori-Atta? No. All the SP is saying that be well and strong and come and assist the investigation. As we speak now, where from all the drama? Where from it? I am telling you, and I'll conclude on this. If Akufo-Addo can have the courage to call for the investigation of his predecessor, has John Mahama done so? So far, what are John Mahama's input in these matters? He said, look, let the due process of the law. If anybody is found to have done anything, let the law take his course. Okay. Beyond that, what has he done? Compared to the conduct of Akufo-Addo. Look, and then I'll conclude on this. Akufo-Addo simply just wanted John Mahama to be placed on an investigation for politics. Without more. He knew at all material time. But just for the politics. So MPP communicators can now go on TV and radio to say, oh, John Mahama Krani investigating. That is all that they wanted.
One of the cases that...
We've gone through all these things. We are quietly watching you people. And instead of thanking your God, you want to gaslight us.
One of the cases that